Vanilla ice cream with the chocolate. You already know that I cannot stop it. When I be rapping, I be watching people.
I started out in gifted and talented programs when I was a kid. I was graduating early from high school. I had things in a row for me. It's funny to say it now that I live in a sleeping bag on the streets, but I used to get letters from Cornell, Dartmouth, Stanford. I had these great hopes of going to an Ivy League school and studying classics and literature and writing the great American novel, and one day living entirely off the arts, working to help make films and performing music, all of that. And then when I was 15, when set to graduate at the end of the year, I found I was pregnant. And I had my daughter, and I kept her. But her father and his parents were moving to Alabama, so I had to make a decision whether to stay with my mom and be a single parent or move to Alabama with them. And I moved, and ended up being a really bad, abusive situation. When I moved out there, he quit school. I finished high school, but not early. I finished right on time when I was 17. And he kicked me out, and that began the cycle of homelessness that I started. I would be out on the streets and then get a job and start saving up for a place. I'd have a place for a while, get evicted, and a huge big cycle of that. Lose a job, that kind of thing. And then from 2009 to 2010, I was doing my very best. I had her half of every week, my daughter, with me, and I had a full-time job at DirecTV as a customer retention specialist, and I learned a lot about technology that way. I liked that. And I was saving up for school. It was always, I wanted to go to school. I knew that I had the potential to make something of myself, and I just didn't, because there was no money for school. And then I lost my job. I got mono. I was out of work for a month, and I got fired. And I lost my job in October of last year. Consequently, I lost my car. I lost my apartment. My daughter's father basically kidnapped her, and I lost everything, and I ended up on the streets. And now I'm here at Outside In, trying to start over again.
I'm a bum now! Yeah, I haven't seen my father since I was 9. My whole family is really, really religious. My mother was homeschooling me. We had a couple of theological buttings of heads. She doesn't agree with the fact that I'm attracted to men. Said she was going to throw me out of the house, but she'd talked to a couple of people at her church, and they'd convinced her not to. And she'd decided that she could love me anyway. But then when it came down to living my life the way that I wanted to, it didn't work out. And she would tell me things like, well, just because I said I was okay with this didn't mean I wanted you to parade it around in front of me. Couldn't you have waited until you were out of my house to do this kind of thing? And I was like, well, then maybe I'll get out of your house. Moved out, wound up homeless because I did a bunch of things that I shouldn't have done. There was this one time I asked this woman, I asked her if she had any change she could spare, and she said absolutely nothing. Just stuck her nose up in the air, 3-piece suit, probably a lawyer or something, carrying a briefcase. And she starts to walk by me, and this had happened to me 15, 20, 30 times that day already. And I was sick of it. And I was like, just because I'm broke doesn't mean I don't exist. Doesn't mean that I'm not sitting here right now asking you for something that I need, because I'm a human and you're a human and we both need things, and you might have something. You know, your whole suit and your briefcase probably cost more than everything I own. And she sat down and started crying. Like, she sat down next to me and started crying. And she was like, I'm sorry. I don't even think about that when I do it.
Yeah, I guess the cutoff was 18. She's like, well, you're 18 now. Get it out. Get the hell out. It's just like, all right. I saw all my friends, like, they're all doing the same thing since, like, we got out of high school. And I was doing the same thing, too, just, like, hanging out. And I was like, I'm going to come up and, like, make myself, like, an adult. Well, I was having lunch with my friend in San Diego, and he was going to read. And then I was just sort of, like, joking around, like, hey, can I come with you? Like, 3 hours later, I was just, like, driving to Reed College, I guess, or Portland, and I was just going to classes the whole time. Like, people thought I was a freshman. Like, I made up a fake name, Titus. It was great. The campus security found out about me. I think someone burned me out. So it was just like, all right, here I am, living on the street, like, trying to get a bed for tonight. It's pretty cold. I didn't realize that there was a youth shelter for like a month or two, and I was just staying with like all the like hardcore homeless, like and then I found out about the youth shelter, and then that's when things got like pretty easy. But the whole time it was like, it wasn't super bad. A lot of people thought I was insane. They're like, oh, you're bipolar, you're crazy, like, what are you doing? Now they're like, yeah, everything you did, like, we respect. Like, you went up and like made yourself, like, I don't know, you made something for yourself. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever really been on my own, so.
Just because I don't really want to deal with parents and family and all that annoying crap. It's all ridiculous to me. I got so sick of it. So much drama in my family and so much just pointless stuff, and I just wanted to be independent and kind of be my own guy, be my own person. I mean, like, I didn't even do anything bad. Like, I didn't really ever get into any bad drugs or drinking or nothing, so, like, they really had no reason to be so mistrusting of me. I mean, I made mistakes in the past when I was younger, but they hold on to those things. That's one thing that sucks, is that they hold on to the past like it's yesterday. So, like, they wouldn't, like, let anything go, and it was really hard for me to do anything, so I just got sick of it and left. I want to figure out religion and figure out what I believe for myself, not what my parents tell me, you know? And I wasn't technically homeless until a couple days ago, because I was just couch surfing, where I would just stay at people's houses for a while, and that's it. And that kind of stopped, so now I'm back on the streets again. Yeah, it's just an interesting experience. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just, it's hard.
When I was doing what I was doing, like, there was like a risk. I felt like there was like a big risk. Like, is all this worth, like, you know, going to jail for, you know, wasting my time? And that is like the most boring place ever, and I will never go back there. So I knew I had to like change, or that's like exactly where I was gonna be. And I think I'm like the only one out of my cousins that hasn't been back. If I stay busy, there's no way for me to get in trouble. That's what I figured. So I started playing semi-pro football, tried to look for jobs. In the studio, that's basically where I'm at. If I'm not asleep or talking to girls, I'm at the studio. Actually, I just want to like make like a difference, period. Like, cause I rap about stuff, but when people see that, they already like judge. Like, oh, okay, well, he's rapping about this, so he does that, and oh yeah, but they don't see that I'm in a community center working with little kids or teaching kids how to play sports. They don't see that part. All they see is me, you know, having fun, kicking it with my friends and all that. That's what they see. But honestly, like, there's other sides, like, to people. It's a good feeling, like, when you've been working with a kid that's like 8 years old, you taught him everything he knows about sports and whatnot, and then now they're in high school or middle school and they're like prospects. Like, that makes you feel good right there. And like, you're like, oh yeah, I taught him everything you know. And they think you're joking, but you actually really did, so yeah.
Why don't we stay inside? transgendered rights. That's what I want to talk about. You're more than your body. You're more than the sexual aspect of transsexual. You're a three-dimensional person, and to find that person, that is what I would like to voice, the opinion that I would like to voice. But what has really inspired it was I was talking to my aunt, and she told me that I was trying to be something that I'm not. And that she moved from Portland to like a whole different state because she didn't want her kids to be around me and my transition. And like, it offended me to such a level that I cussed her out. And I would have never done that. And I think when I look back on it now, I overreacted. Or not overreacted, I acted out of hurt, not of pain. But like, I don't feel that that is the proper way to educate somebody who's ignorant to what it means to be transgender, to what it means to feel like you're just not in the appropriate body. Like, this is not who I am. I want to liberate trans women from that. It's a stereotype, but that my body is a joke. It's for a punchline. It's not, and I don't like that. And so what I want to do and who I want to be and what I want to do with my life is to be somebody who makes it in the film industry, working, an actor, a filmmaker, a this, a that. But legitimately.
There's something really condescending about speaking about someone but not directly giving them a chance to voice their opinion. And so this is exciting.
People forget that people are people. Like, homeless people, we're people, dude. You know, like, I want the world to get that. Homeless people aren't all druggies. They're not all alcoholics. They're just people. People who actually, a lot of the times, have really interesting lives. People that have had great tribulations and trials, people that have gone through hell and back, people that have seen things, people that know things, you know, like, they're not just a bunch of morons, you know, they're not just a bunch of grouchy people who don't want to live by the rules of society. A lot of the times they can't live by the rules of society because they've just been screwed over like that.
It was one of four things. You're either like a drug addict, you were insane, you're an ex-convict, or just the economy was bad. But that last one, like, I met like 3 people who were just like, yeah, I don't have a job right now, so I'm homeless. But yeah, everybody else just has a problem that, you know, they can't really help.
Bars of the cage and the trash in the gutter and the people coming out of the clinic. It gets worse every minute.
It's ridiculous that like people have become so desensitized to homelessness and like so desensitized to people having less than they do and having needs just like they do, that like they just pretend that people don't exist.
The people that are blessed are supposed to give things away because it makes you blessed in another kind of way. Because the more you have, the more you want. But if you give your things away, you know, you get that kind of nice little satisfaction.
The most common sentiment is that they're not real people. And even I feel like that sometimes, you know, when I'm out in a crowd full of normal people, people with houses, you know, and jobs, I feel kind of invisible or like I'm not a real person.
I don't know if a 2-minute film is going to change that necessarily. Maybe it'll change it for some people.
The top expectation I think that most non-homeless people have about the homeless that I'd like to crush, that we don't have dreams of the future, that we don't have a future at all.
The day I met a man, do you know what he said to me? Get a job, you damn hippie. Yeah, the other day I met a man, he told me to get a job. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, yeah, well, I like animals more than people 'cause they say things other than get a fucking job.
I didn't want to be a filmmaker before, just started it as a seed, and then grew and grew, and then all of a sudden I have a camera, and now I'm growing up that seed even more because I've been filming and all this kind of stuff. And it's getting better and better, you know?
I could put it on my resume, that's one, and then two, I could save money in my pocket because you guys are going to show me like how to work the camera and stuff, so I don't have to keep paying for things like that. Because honestly, I would like to just make my own videos so I could put directed by myself, you know, like on my own videos and stuff. Because that's not what most people are doing right now. Everybody's just like trying to pay for things and all that. So if I could just do everything by myself, I think I'd be ahead of the game.
I hopefully expect a little kickstart because of this experience. Maybe I'll get a little more. Maybe this will open up some other door for me, and that door will open up an even bigger door, you know? Something like that.
This could potentially be the start of something really good for me, I think.
But yeah, I wanted these films to showcase the growth that has happened in a year from when I did Safe Sex Siren.
Oh my
gosh. It's triple.
And the Three Me's and a Baby and Getting Tested Together. Those were all really good, but they were my beginning stages. And I feel as an artist, as a director and a filmmaker and an actor, I've grown so much. I'm very anxious to see what I can do this time.